My name's Gwen, and I'm a dietitian. What is a dietitian? Well, it means that I'm someone that loves learning about food and how the food that we eat helps us in our daily lives. We're going to talk about eating and food at school. Your school might call the times that you eat lunch or nutrition break, recess, maybe even snack time. What do you call food breaks at your school? These food breaks are really important parts of the school day. At some schools, kids eat in their classrooms, and at others, kids might eat in a cafeteria. Some kids bring food from home. Other kids might eat the food from school. Sometimes there's an adult in the room, and sometimes there isn't. Really, no two schools do it the same way. Today, we're going to talk about your food breaks at school and ways that we can all make it easier to eat together. What happens when the lunch bell rings at your school? Do you line up to wash your hands? Do you grab your lunchbox from your cubby or your backpack? Do you head on down to the cafeteria? Imagine you grab your lunchbox from your bag. Have you ever noticed how each kid's lunch bag is a little bit different? Might be a different color, different pattern, maybe a different design. Neat, right? It's one of the ways of expressing ourselves and the things that we like and the tools that work for us. Our lunch bag might match our backpacks or be our favorite character. Maybe it's the same as the ones our siblings have. And our lunch boxes, they hold little glimpses into our homes and our families. And I think it's cool that you might eat a sandwich with ham and cheese, and someone else in your class may eat a hummus wrap or maybe even have dumplings in their lunch. Your friend might have pita with egg salad, someone else might have crispy tofu, and your teacher might be eating rice and beans. Someone may have brown bread with all sorts of little seeds and grains in it that you can see. And others may have bread that's different colors because of how it was fried. Somebody might have oatmeal cookies, someone might have dragon fruit, or someone might have a fruit cup that you peel the top back. Our families and our adults, they choose foods for our lunch boxes for a lot of different reasons. They might be thinking about foods that'll give you energy to play and to learn. Foods that you and your family really enjoy and they're familiar to you. Foods that you can eat easily at school without adult help. Foods that are safe for you and free of foods that we might be allergic to. Foods that are available to your adults. We all get our food from different places, and not all places have the same things. Who packs your lunch? What do you think that your adults are thinking about when they're choosing foods for your lunch? Sometimes our food connects us to special traditions or holidays. We might get to bring in a special food that our family ate the night before when celebrating a birthday, a holiday, and when we open our lunchbox, we get to remember it. Those smells were taken right back to that awesome family moment. I think it's really cool that our food is all different. It means that each kid can have a meal that works for them, put together by their adults at home based on what they like to eat. Can you remember a time that you had something special or delicious or surprising in your lunchbox? How did it make you feel? Let's talk about eating with other people. Eating at home may have other people there. Adults, other kids, maybe grandparents, neighbors. Eating at school, though, can have many more people. Fun, right? Well, sometimes, but not for everyone. Have you ever tried to read a book while someone was watching TV and someone else was having a really loud phone chat and someone else was using a really noisy toy? Pretty hard to concentrate, right? Eating kind of needs us to be able to concentrate too. We need to be able to pay attention and focus on what we're doing. We need to feel calm and relaxed if we can. A loud and busy classroom is pretty hard to feel relaxed and calm in. An awesome way to be kind to yourself and others in your class at lunch is to try and just turn down the volume just a bit to avoid having too many loud distractions going. So instead of yelling about what's going on in your favorite video game, try talking to your friends a little bit more quietly about it instead. It's sometimes nice to have something to listen to at lunch, but instead of always asking for a movie or videos during lunch meals at school, you could try thinking about as a class asking for music or a story to listen to. This can help us focus on what we're eating and listening to our body and noticing what's happening. You don't usually need it to be totally silent in the classroom, but calmer, that's great. What are some things that your class can do to stay calm at lunchtime? Eating at school is different than eating at home. What might work for you is not going to be the same as what works for your friends. And your teacher or the adult in the classroom is always thinking about what will work best for everybody. Being good friends in the lunchroom is really important. Let's talk about some ways to make sure that everyone in your class feels comfortable eating the foods that they bring to school. In a lot of schools and classes, we don't eat by ourselves. We eat with a lot of other kids. When we eat close to other people, we can see and smell their food. I'm gonna take a guess here, but I'm guessing that your lunch is not exactly the same as your friend's lunch. You might see things that you've never seen before. Interesting, right? Now here's the thing. It's way too easy for us to think that foods that are different or new to us are not okay, or even gross, or we might use words like ew or yuck or what is that? Saying yuck or ooh or gross to something in someone else's lunchbox may make them feel bad or sad, and they may not want to eat a food that's really important to them. We're gonna try not to do that this year. And if we make a mistake, we're gonna try and learn and get better at this, and we're gonna practice. What could we say instead? Hey, that looks neat. I've never seen that before. Can you tell me about it? The other choice, you could say nothing. You could just notice and carry on eating your lunch and leave it alone. If you're really curious, you might talk to your teacher or a librarian about where you might learn more about a new food. Teachers are great for that. Can you think of a time that you saw a new food for the first time? What'd you notice? The smell, the shape, the color? Adults talk a lot about healthy eating. But did you know that one of the healthiest things that we can do is to make sure that we're listening to ourselves at meal times? Listening to ourselves? Yeah. Checking in with your body. Are you hungry? Are you thirsty? Tired? Which foods look good to you right now? These can all act as clues for knowing how much of our lunch food we should eat and which lunch foods we should eat. Most of the time, your body's pretty good at telling you what it needs. If your body's telling you that you really want to eat part of your sandwich or a wrap at snack time, it's probably because your body needs the energy that comes from grains and fruits and other foods like that. Picture this. You're coming back from being busy in the gym and running around and feeling so hungry. It's snack time and your stomach is rumbling. So you open your lunchbox and you take a look at what's inside, and you might grab a granola bar or a few apple slices. It's like a power-up to help your brain and your body keep going until the next food time. Another way to respect yourself at mealtime is to pay attention to how long you have. The truth is, eating time at school goes by quickly. And well, it's easy to get sidetracked. Teachers and lunchroom monitors, they know how your day goes, but it can be hard to remember that for kids. When your teacher says it's time to eat, try to get started right away so you don't miss out. How does your body tell you that you're hungry? What does it feel like? Okay, so we're paying attention, listening to our bodies. But how can we learn more about foods that might be new to us? What ways could your classroom explore foods more? You could bring in a parent, a local chef, a farmer, an elder to talk about food. You could practice exploring food at school. What does something look like, feel like, sound like? You could read books about food. There's lots of them. You could go right out to a farm and check out how food grows. Did you know soybeans grow in Ontario, and they're actually a really cool food? They can be used to make a lot of things, like crayons or ink, even parts of cars, not just food. If you're in Ontario, you may have seen soybean fields without even knowing what they were. Have you ever seen something like this? What about fields that look like this? Or this? Or this? We grow so many plants that we eat right here in Ontario. There are so many ways to learn about food, and I love learning about food. I really do. Wow, we've talked about a lot of things today. Let's go over them so we don't forget. We all have different foods in our lunch boxes for lots of different reasons, and that's cool. Remember that having a calm and relaxed lunchroom is great for you and for your friends, so you can all eat at school. Remember to listen to your body and take the time to eat at your food breaks. Remember that learning about new foods is really fun, and there's lots of ways to do that, like gardening, visiting a farm, cooking with a grown-up, and exploring new foods. Well, that's all for today. Enjoy your lunch, everybody.